Hey, my name's Abby, and welcome to PocketSuite for dog trainers. As a dog trainer of over 8 years myself, I know how important it is to save time where possible so that we can focus on what's most important, which is our clients and the dogs. So today I'm going to walk you through a quick overview of how PocketSuite could function for a dog trainer. Keep in mind, this is a very robust and customizable tool, and so not everything is going to apply to your business. This is, again, a general overview. We're going to start with the customer facing interface. This can be linked in a few ways to meet your customer where they're at. The first being through your website. If you have a website, we can plug in and create a button on your website where clients can be directed to book. We can also directly link to your Google Business profile where they can book directly from Google Business. Finally, we can set up text message marketing. This would automatically send booking links to clients when they complete other steps of their training journey. A great example is I can send out a link to book my group classes after a client has graduated my day train program. So I'll click book now, and we can set up custom categories. A lot of trainers prefer to only show their consultations to the general public on their website. Everything else is typically sent out by the trainer once the dog has been approved for a program. However, you can offer live booking across all services. I'm going to book a virtual consultation. You can customize the duration, the price, and description. You're able to surcharge payments, meaning pass on the credit card processing fee to your customer if it's legal in your area, saving you lots of cost in credit card processing rates. You can allow the customer to select a trainer if you'd like. You don't have to do this, especially if you're a single pro. I do like having the bios here, just explaining, what's going on, what this trainer specializes in. But again, we don't have to do this if we don't want to. Next, the client will be met with the calendar of availability. An important note here is trainers are able to sync their personal calendars, whether it's Google Calendar or iPhone Calendar, with their PocketSuite account. Clients won't be able to see what you're doing on Wednesday at 2 p.m., but PocketSuite will know based off of your personal calendar if you're available or not. This is going to help you avoid double bookings when it comes to your personal life and your work life. So if I click Wednesday the 13th, I can see the availability. Because I did not select a trainer, it's referencing all 3 trainers' availability. If I would have selected one single trainer, then it's only pulling that person. I'll pick 2 o'clock. Next, you can add on retail products or add-on services. Completely custom, but this is helpful if they're enrolling in a training program and they need to purchase something. My favorite thing to sell is true place cots. When I teach place with my clients, a lot of times they'll bring things like a towel or a blanket, and that's great in the future. We're moving towards that as a goal, but I find that the dog does need an elevated platform to learn the principle of the command. And so sometimes I'll sell those to folks so that they can get the right one that they need. Now you'll notice it's asking me to enter in a security code. So PocketSuite's online customer portal does not base itself off of a username and password situation. That way the clients don't have to remember. It's truly just based off their cell phone number and a quick code that's sent for verification. Next, it's going to ask me to add some information. This is completely custom. You can set this up based off of the reservation type, meaning virtual consult, or just in general information that you need on behalf of the client and the pet. Which brings me to my next step. We have to add the pet. So I'm able to enter my dog Scout in here. Again, you can customize what information you need about that dog. Trainers typically want more upfront. We can ask things like, for vaccinations, we can ask if the dog is intact. We can ask where they got the dog and how old the dog was. We can ask any variety of information. It's completely custom, so you can get an overall history. Finally, we can take payment. So again, you can charge a surcharge to cover your card processing costs, and customers can pay online. You can customize your cancellation policies by reservation type. So maybe that's going to look a little different for an initial consultation than it does for ongoing client boarding, perhaps. You'll notice that your cancellation policies will be listed here clearly for the client to see, and then they're able to pay. I'll put in my credit card number. And then I submit my request. There's two ways to do this. Again, live booking or request basis. So again, a customer can see your availability and simply book, or if you'd like a little bit more control over who's booking your schedule, they can walk through this flow, and instead of receiving immediate confirmation, the business would need to confirm. And so you would receive a notification on your end to confirm the appointment. The last step here is it's just having me fill out some additional information, and this is based off of the reservation. So again, the fact that this is a virtual consultation, I need a little bit more background on the dog. And again, completely custom. Finally, service terms and conditions. These can vary based off of reservation type. So again, you may have a different one for group classes than you do for board and trains, and that's okay. The client is just going to be asked to sign. You'll notice it does populate in the service information and the client information. I noticed in a lot of other platforms I've used in the past, it's very general and it's not able to be customized with the client information. All right, and because I have live booking set up, not customer request, you'll see that my reservation has been already accepted and I can simply add it to my appointment, to my calendar. So this is again the customer facing side of PocketSuite. Again, this can be accessed a number of ways. We also do have a customer facing smartphone app for those that do want to use the app. But again, we're also so heavily link based that we link right into your website, your Google business profile, into marketing text messages. It's very easy to just send a quick link for the client to book. Not only can you send it to the portal overall, but you can send links to specific services. So, hey, I see you're interested in taking the Canine Good Citizen test. Here's the link to register for our prep class. And that link would direct them directly to that prep class, not all of your group classes, not just the customer facing portal, resulting in a very clear customer booking experience. So now we're going to look at your end of PocketSuite, right? The business owner. This is the most important part. So we're on the home screen here. We'll see very clearly the first three actions at the top are charge client, send invoice, and schedule. Those are the three most common things that we're doing to run our business from our phones or from our computers. So we want to have those clear and easy for you to do. You'll notice I do have reservation requests here. So again, if I didn't have live booking turned on, I can request here. I can see unpaid bookings. So again, if a client owes you money, it's extremely easy to see. If you require a credit card on file or you have one saved for the client, it's as easy as clicking charge. We really want to help you with that revenue bleed. And so we offer this unpaid bookings tab here on the right. Furthermore, you have your dashboards. Let's take a look at our income dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to bookings just to get a little more data in here. So I can look at my bookings. I'm up over 2% previous period. I can compare different date ranges and custom. And then you can also compare period over period. Furthermore, you can add additional metrics. So things like income, like refunds or discounts or items. We can even run capacity, class capacity, resource capacity, which is going to be like your kennels. All of this can be compared to your bookings to help you see exactly what's going on at a quick glance. I really like my heat map as well. As trainers, I feel like sometimes it's hard to find that work-life balance, right? We want to take every client, we want to help everyone. And so sometimes we find ourselves working 7 days a week. This heat map can direct me to when clients are booking me most often. This can help me set healthy boundaries and parameters of when I am available to be booked. Clearly, my busiest times are Wednesday mornings. Tuesdays and Thursdays are also pretty busy. Fridays, looks like I have a good bit of time here, in the mornings. But again, it's all pretty busy during the week and slow on the weekend. So this can help me, again, formulate my business hours and also help with staffing planning. If I have team members, this can tell me usually when I need to be more staffed. Further, we can break this report down. I have it broken down by item. And then you can even add a dimension like, let's do lead source. A lot of us do marketing, and I think in the dog training space, we're a little new to marketing. The COVID puppy boom was great for a lot of us, and now we're finding ourselves having to go, oh, now I have to start marketing. Where do I begin? So this is helpful for you to see if your lead sourcing is working correctly. We can also plug UTM sources in here as well if you're working with a marketing manager or you're familiar with using UTMs. So again, that was just one of our many dashboards. I can see, again, open invoices and unpaid bookings go hand in hand. I can see, again, bookings and packages. Now, when we dig into the weeds a little bit, these are just more features that PocketSuite can offer for your business. So we can manage team members, set up subscriptions. I love subscriptions for things like sport dog classes or ongoing group classes. Client can put a card on file and it just charges automatically every month for them to have access to certain classes. Also great for ongoing day training or structured day programs. I can view my clients. This month I have one new client, so it actually can break it down and you can actually view your leads as well. You can set up a suite link, which is just going to be kind of like a link tree. It can link multiple things. It can link to an Amazon storefront, for example, and you can track views, customer completed forms, set up your classes, set up your reservations. Again, we've talked about contracts. So everything in here is intended to help you run your business as efficiently as possible so that you're not getting bogged down in all of the admin work. I do want to direct you over here to the calendar. We've got a couple of different views here and it's completely custom, just what makes sense to you. So right now we're looking at this week, right? It's Friday. I can see these dogs here at the top are with me all day, probably board and trains. And then these are my lessons or classes that I'm going through. You'll notice that they are color coded and group classes can clearly indicate how many spots are left. That way, if a customer texts you, calls you and says, hey, I want to get in that class, all you have to do is look at your calendar and you can easily see how many spots are left. If you do a lot of board and trains or even day trains where dogs are in kennels for a certain amount of time, we offer a resource calendar. And so what that looks like is instead of having the times across here, you're actually going to have your kennels, right? And so kennel 1, kennel 2, kennel 3, you can set up capacities by weight and you can set up capacities to be cognizant of family ties, right? Meaning, hey, this kennel can fit up to 3 dogs, but they must all be related. That way we're not accidentally putting 3 unrelated dogs in the same kennel run. So we can see in here where everyone is. We can also move them easily if we need to. So red obviously would indicate that at some point that that's not able to be booked, that resource. So I'm going to come up here and just move him into large kennel 3. So again, calendars, resources, you're able to quickly see your availability and you can also book directly from the calendar, from any view, whether it's week or that resource, you can come in and create appointments once you see your availability. Just as a reminder, again, this can sync to personal calendars. So those of us that are constantly running around, making house calls, doing dog sports, we need to make sure that we're not double booking ourselves. Our business hours might be Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, but we might have personal vet appointments for our personal dogs. We might be taking Thursday and Friday off for a specialty show. And so if our personal calendars are blocked, again, that will translate to PocketSuite so that you are not getting booked on those days. This is a very key and important thing to have in place. Client communication. So important. We send automated reminders via text, email. We are a very text-based program. That's just how folks communicate nowadays. So we can see that the customers fill out these forms. I can type out messages. I can send pictures. I can charge the customer. I can even send a voice memo right through here. In addition, the client can text me back. Two-way texting in PocketSuite is completely unlimited. So you no longer need to use your personal cell phone to communicate with customers. You can do that right within your PocketSuite app. You also have the ability to set up what's called smart campaigns. And essentially, what these are is we can send out automated messages based off client action. So, again, you booked this service, you receive an automated text message. Maybe that's for board and trains, prep and drop off instructions that go out automatically when a board and train is booked. You can also set it up for other things like a birthday message. So, happy birthday on the dog's birthday, it just automatically texts them. That's a great way to formulate kind of sticky customers, is what I call them, customers that keep coming back. They want to feel important. And most of us don't want to forget a dog's birthday. We just have other really important things taking precedence, and it's not something we're constantly thinking about. So if we can set it and it automatically goes, we want to acknowledge that with our customers. So again, booking, customer communication, customer profiles, all very straightforward within PocketSuite. I guess the last part that I'll show you, and selfishly it's because I want to show off my dog, are pet profiles. Owners can have multiple pets. We can set up different details. So we can set up the breed, the sex. We can set up the fact that they're intact. Notes about the dog, even tasks. So if a dog is coming in for a board and train, for example, you can set specific tasks that the trainers will be asked to complete and will populate on their dashboards. I can go over to the human. If they did have multiple pets, that would show here. And again, you can add notes to the human as well if you're having specific interactions with them. So again, built for dog trainers, by dog trainers, and we're looking forward to meeting with you and learning more about your business. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us to schedule a demo. I'm eager to learn more about your business and meet with you and hear how PocketSuite can work for you. Thanks.